Hey everybody, we get asked a lot, isn't buying the total stock market index like betting on every horse in the race? And the answer is yes and no. Um, I guess a good place to start is why would you want to invest in the total stock market? Well, historically, investing in the total stock market has returned better results than taking that same money and putting it to work with an actively managed fund. Basically, actively managed funds almost never consistently beat the total stock market, basically the market as a whole. A big component of that is that it's really kind of hard to predict what the market's going to do. Also, on top of that, actively managed funds have fees which eat into your returns. So basically, it's hard to beat the market. So if it's hard to beat the market, then why bother trying to beat the market? A lot of folks don't. And the way that you go about doing this is buying something like an ETF, like Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index. Basically, buying a share of that is buying a small piece of every single equity that's traded on the markets. It's a great way to really deploy capital in a long-term way at a very low cost. So why is it not like betting on every single horse in the race? Well, stocks aren't in necessarily direct competition with each other. So basically, in a horse race, one horse is going to win and all the other horses are not going to win. In the stock market, all companies that are on the market can do better and all companies can do worse. But basically, the way that Apple does might impact Microsoft, but the way that GE operates versus the way that Apple operates aren't necessarily linked. So in that sense, it's not in direct competition. Buying the entire stock market isn't like picking a horse. It's more along the lines of betting that there's going to be a horse race, that people are going to buy tickets, that people are going to sit in the seats, and that people are going to place bets on that horse race. So I think that's probably a better example or comparison. At the end of the day, buying the total stock market index is kind of like making a bet in American capitalism and the market as a whole existing and continuing to grow and expand. So how is it like betting on every horse in the race? So pretty much if you think about this as a long-term investment, which we always recommend that you do, and you always should be thinking about your investments as long-term, especially this type of investment. If you think about it, in the long term, you're almost guaranteed to win, kind of like in the same way that if you bet on every horse in the race, you're kind of guaranteed to also win. Stranger things have happened, sometimes you don't. But that's kind of the short and skinny of it. So the next time somebody says, isn't investing all of your money in the stock market, kind of like picking every horse in the race, you have this to kind of demonstrate to them actually what it really is all about and why we think, for the most bang for the buck, it kind of is the best way to deploy capital.